Wepa! What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Viva Los Bills. Buffalo Will Cousin Vinny cannot be here, sad to say. He has some family issues going on. Wish him, prayers going out to him and his family. That's about it. So Vinny won't be with us this week. We might have Bobby Blackjack jumping in at some point, but as of right now, it's just you and me. As always, hit us up like any questions, any comments. We'll put them out there. I'll try to answer your thing. As always, follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, as you guys are here. And if not, you can go on YouTube. Follow us there as well, as always. And also Twitter now. It's up there. Duh. Big silly me. Anyway, let's keep going here. A lot of news, not just with Buffalo, but a lot of news around the league. But, this is a Buffalo Bills show. We will touch on other players out there and what's going on. But we got a lot of stuff. Brandon Beane's making some moves. Him and McDermott, I guess, are talking, getting a lot of guys on it. Some guys have left. And on that note, as we always do, I crack open a beer and I rate it. I got my little handy Buffalo Bills cup here. Right here. This is a throwback. And the reason I went to this is for all the guys who have been cut, released, or who have moved on to other teams. So we're going to go get a little gangster here from back in the day. What? Old English. It's not even a 40. It's a 42 ounce. Not even glass anymore. It's plastic. Oh, this is going to probably give me a headache. It's probably going to hurt me. But I did it because, as they say, you got to pour a little out for your homies who ain't here no more. And it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Woo! That's for the Buffalo Bills who are with us no more, who've moved on to other teams. Oh, man, I'm afraid to even drink this. Old English, 800 malt liquor. No IPAs, no Pilsners. We're going gangster. Woo! This is the stuff we used to drink like when we were 18. We go down to P-Town, Patterson, New Jersey, because they would serve us. So we would get some of these bad boys, whether it's this or MGD, Coors Light, Budweiser, whatever it was. That's what we got. So here we go. Ooh, you got to drink this stuff cold and fast. I'm going to give it a 2. A 2. It's rough. It's a rough beer right there. But goes out to all the Bills who aren't with us no more. 40 ounces, getting gangsta. As always, if you guys have any question, comments, throw them out there. I'll see them. I always look to my right to look on Facebook, to look at the Viva Los Bills page. If you post on YouTube, they should come out. If you're watching Zingo, you could go to one of those sites and we'll get something going. All right, let's talk about some of the stuff going on. Listen, as of right now, let me put on my scroll over here real quick. Hold on. Bam. Show that on the bottom. You'll see, like always, where to reach us. And the Buffalo Bills, as of right now, have a cap space. Have created a lot of cap space. Brandon Beane's done a great job at it, like he always does. We're at 18.922.395 according to Sports Track. They track the cap situation and so forth. So we went from having, I think it was like 2 million, signed a bunch of guys, let a few guys walk, and now we're up to 18 million. People say you really want to be around 12 million. You need around 8 million for the rookies coming in to set that up. So we have about 10.9 million worth of cap space to play around with still. So let's see what else they got up in their sleeves. A few moves I'm not too happy about, but it is what it is. We're fans. We don't really get that much of a say. So let me take another swig of this. Gangsta beer. All right. Buffalo Bills players who have gone. One of the guys who's always up for Walter Payton, Man of the Year the last 3 years, Harrison Phillips. Congratulations to him. He moves on to the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, we used to get Kirk Cousins used to pop on the show. Was it a real one? We don't know. But he used to come on the show. Harrison Phillips heading over there, 3-year deal worth $19.5 million. Good for him. And I didn't see the Buffalo Bills matching that. He got paid more. And, I thought he was going to get. Good for him. You put in that work, and that's what happens. You get a nice deal like that. Moving on from there. This one kind of stung me. Vinny's not here, but everybody knows I like the guy, Levi Wallace. Levi Wallace, people would talk a lot of smack. You watch on YouTube, not YouTube, Twitter, or whatever. A lot of people would pick on him, saying, oh, well, he got burnt, or this, or that. But you got to remember, people weren't throwing to Trey White. They don't like throwing to Trey White. So what's going to happen? Levi Wallace is going to see the majority of the passes coming to him. So, yeah, his numbers aren't going to look as good as Trey's. And Teron Johnson, he's in the slot. So those guys saw a lot more action than White. But for people to just pick on, listen, when White went down last year, Levi stepped up. Dane Jackson had to step up. Jackson struggled a little, but nobody was really eating him up. Levi Wallace, he ends up going to Pittsburgh on a 2-year deal for $8 million. $4 million a year for a legitimate number 2 corner who ended up sliding into the 1 spot and did a pretty damn good job. Our defense was still ranked number 1 overall, and that's with him there, not even Trey White being there. So the guy should get more credit than he was getting. And, I was a little upset that the Bills didn't even try to match that offer. $4 million a year for a legitimate number 2. So, I don't know if they're going to end up with a bargain somewhere, or if we're going to look at that position in the draft in the first 2 rounds. You're going to have to do something to replace Levi. Dane Jackson is good. Tyron, I don't think they're going to move him from the slot. He plays the slot very well. So it just hurt. Good luck to Levi. Hopefully, he shows what he's worth over there in Pittsburgh. It stinks. I believe they're one of our opponents again this year. I have to look. But, man, upsetting that they did not try to match $4 million for Levi, who's been there all this time. Undrafted college player, became a starter. Undrafted rookie in the NFL, became a starter, legitimate starter. So good for him getting a gig over there in Pittsburgh. Not too happy that he's still in the AFC, but whatever. Good for him. Sad he's gone. John Feliciano, we talked about it last week. He got cut. Now they're saying he's supposed to have signed a 1-year deal with the New York Giants. No surprise there. Going and following ex-Bill guys over there. So let's see what he could do. It was a 1-year deal. I'm not sure how much it is because I looked at Sports Track and I didn't see him even on there. So I don't know if it's officially done or not, but he joins the Giants, so he'll have a team to play with. We don't play the Giants this year, so that's okay. Hold on. My mouth's getting dry. Whew. OD. All right. Mitchell Trubisky, everybody knows, he went to Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh's picking up a lot of the Buffalo Bills players. To me, he signed a 2-year deal worth $14 million. That's not bad for a starting quarterback. Trubisky had more wins than a bunch of guys over there in Chicago the last few years. Maybe he didn't get the job done like they wanted, but the guy's put in work. So let's see what he could do. He's going to have weapons over there. And again, $7 million a year for a starting quarterback, that's unheard of nowadays. Everybody's making crazy boom dollars. Nuts. Good for Mitch. Hopefully he could show what he could do. I think he'll do a good job over there in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh likes to run the ball. Maybe they won't pass as much this year, but either way, I think they'll get the job done. And again, good for him. Congrats to Mitch. So the Buffalo Bills were said to have signed J.D. McKissick from Washington, the Commanders. Then later on that evening, everybody was happy about it, posting, boom, boom, he signed. Then he changed his mind and said, nope, I'm going to stay with the Commanders, and returns to Washington. So we did not get a running back there. So that is not happening. Kissick goes back to the Commanders. Excuse me. We go back to the drawing board. Well, hey, we got Christian Wade. Let this guy play some ball. The guy showed he could run. He's strong. He played without pads. The boy could take a hit. Let him go out there and show what he could do. But there's a bunch of free agents out there that still could look for it to try to plug in. Personally, I think they should get a hard running back, power back, not none of these fancy backs, because we already have fancy backs in Singletary. Moss, to me, is more of a bruiser. I think he should get more playing time. Let him hit some people. But I think they should go out there and get a bruiser. Leonard Fournette, I believe, is available. I think that's the kind of running back we need to plug in there. Either way, moving on. Another one-time Buffalo Bill signing with the New York Giants on a 2-year deal. Who? Not one of my favorites, but I respect the guy. Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor signs a 2-year deal worth $11 million with the New York Giants. Would I have taken Tyrod Taylor for $11 million on 2 years? Yeah. $5 million a year? Why not? As a backup, he's a solid backup. Not a starter, but a backup. And by the way, the Bills hired Mike Shula as their senior offensive assistant, I guess, to help this man with his first year as offensive coordinator. So welcome, Mike Shula. I think that's a nice, smart addition to the squad. So let's see if he helps. I can't even think of his name right now. Make a more balanced offense, because we don't want to be passing the ball every down, even though we should have a few more different setups this year with some of the signings, which I'll get to in a few seconds. So, as we know, a few weeks ago, the Bills were asking some players to restructure their contract, take a pay cut, so forth and whatnot. But some guys didn't want it. This guy, boom, Mr. Bees. He was asked to take a pay cut. He requested to be traded. They said, fine, go out there, see what you're worth, see if anybody is willing to trade for you. And I guess there were no trades. And nowadays, people would rather see if players are going to get cut and not give up anything for them. So, and that is exactly what happened here. Nobody signed up for Mr. Bees. And what happens? He got released. The Buffalo Bills released him. And in doing so, they saved $6.1 million. But it adds $1.5 million to dead money. Whoa. We got the man, Bobby, joined us. Boom. What's up, Bobby?
Hold on. I'm a little off somewhere.
You keep going there. So Bobby sets up. Cole Beasley, he's gone. Again,
real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to verify this.
Uh-oh.
I just saw a report that they're trading Davante Adams to the Raiders.
Really? Well, I didn't see that one.
Just happened like 2 seconds ago, like a minute ago. I'm trying to verify as I was trying to get online. I'm like, that is that. I tell you, AFC West, man, they are loading up.
Well, your team too is loading up, but I haven't gotten to that yet, except for them signing Mitchell Trubisky and the guy I like, Levi Wallace, on a nice, friendly deal. So far, they've signed 2 good players, not for much money. Well, Davante Adams, they franchise tagged him, and he said he's not playing under the franchise tag, so no surprise there.
Wow. I'm full aboard. I'm good. How you doing there, Will?
Good, and yourself? How you doing? It's been a while.
Again, our prayers go out to cousin Vinny on his grandson. I'm hoping he pulls through and we get some updates in the next day or so. But I'm happy for him, and I'm also prayers are up as well.
Yep, I didn't mention what it was. I just said some stuff, but being that you said it, his grandson was born premature, and prayers are going out to him that he makes a recovery and gets to where he has to be. Moving on from there, yeah. How have you been, Bobby?
I'm pretty good. Getting ready. I mean, I keep saying I want to start my show and whatnot and get there, and I'm almost there because now I got my view going now. Finally, a couple things I'm doing down here, and I'm ready to go myself. By the way, I haven't told you guys yet, but we are going to be rebranding to a new name, or rebranding I-95 Sports to Surge Sports.
Surge Sports.
Yeah, I was kind of advised that and we always knew this. We can't really trademark a highway sign, so our name wasn't really too synonymous with sports, right? So I mean, Surge Sports, maybe like a little cool logo, a little wave in it or something. I'm devising, but you guys are family, so I'm on there breaking some news for you guys.
There you go. Breaking news will be called Surge Sports. Bobby, did you see what I'm drinking today?
No.
This was for some of the guys, that we don't have no longer with us. Some of the guys who signed on somewhere else, So I went old school to pour out a little bit for my homies.
Oh boy.
That's
that mountain living you're doing now up there in Sussex.
I don't think their drinking is up there, but I was surprised to see it. I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll probably have a crazy headache later.
I'm sure I missed your first few minutes of the show, so I'm sure you went over the your Bills, right? Are you in the middle of doing so?
What I went over was the Bills that have signed on other places. So I pretty much talked about Harrison Phillips going to Minnesota, Levi Wallace going to your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Real quick, Devontae Adams to the Raiders, 5-year deal, $142 million.
Woo.
I tell you. I mean, I'm sure he's watching the game right now, but if Kurtzy is out there watching this, you got to jump on with us, because you're all excited about getting Russell Wilson a week ago, and the Raiders are just doubling down on that whole division with these players. Chandler Jones yesterday.
Yeah.
That's going to be, oh my God, I wish football would start tomorrow.
It's crazy. Yeah, there it is. Breaking news. That's insane. What did the Raiders get? I mean, what did Green Bay get?
Yeah, it's gonna be some package, right? Because they're signing him. But then again, it was traded, right?
It says, according to ESPN right here, he was traded to the Las Vegas Raiders for 2 2022 draft picks. So it has to be a number one, and who knows what else. Insane.
And then by now, you'd have to guess that they're sticking with Derek Carr, because he was always being rumored to be one of the trade quarterbacks this offseason. He might still be.
Yeah.
But who's left? I
don't know. It says Raiders first round pick. Excuse me, and it doesn't say what the other pick is. That's insane. But I guess Green Bay saw the writing on the wall, and he didn't want to be there. You got to let him go. If you don't want to be there, you got to let him go. So I talked about Levi going to your team, John Feliciano signing with the Giants.
You had to figure. I mean, Will, you had to figure that we got a bunch of your coaches on the Giants now. And you got to figure a few are going to follow.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wouldn't doubt if Cole Beasley ends up there now, being that he was cut by the Bills today.
Well, I was thinking him. I was thinking again, the name's fleeting me off the top of my head. The other receiver, McKenzie.
He resigned with the Bills.
All right, sorry. Then, we need something. Another guy I would like for the Giants also. We're getting to that point yet, but Joe Schobert was released by the Steelers. They signed Miles Jack. I wouldn't mind Schobert for the Giants. He's still young yet.
So hold on. Are you more a Steelers fan or more of a Giants fan?
I go both. I mean, I tried again. I spent 3-4 years covering the Giants, in the locker room, and I might try to get back this year.
Okay.
But, so I try to stay objective. But if I want to go back to my childhood, I mean, the first team I ever loved was Notre Dame, and the second team I ever loved was the Steelers. Then the Yankees. So, honestly, I became a Giant fan when I got a little bit older, and then the Giants made up. They signed Ray Perkins. Then a year later, they George Young, and then LT.
Yeah. Okay.
I know for myself back in the late '70s, it was all about the Steelers were dominant back then. So,
Oh yeah.
like most people, right? Like when you're young and you're becoming a sports fan, you kind of love who's hot at that point, right?
Yeah, I guess so. By the way, just imagine Hunter Renfro.
Oh,
What the hell was this? Braylon Edwards or Brian Edwards, and now Devontae Adams. That's a pretty nice. And Darren Walker, if he's healthy.
oh,
The AFC is just ridiculous. I'm sorry, all the moves going on. A lot of competition. A lot of competition. Uh, Also talked about Mitchell Trubisky, like I said, going to your squad, and Tyrod Taylor joining the Giants also. So, and I just started touch. I think I lost, huh?
no, I'm saying that was a good. I mean, when you look at the timeline, Tyrod Taylor played for Shane. So it's all familiarity. It's all about being familiar at this point.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. The only thing I didn't like was the Giants taking Antonio Williams, that running back that Vinny and I kept saying we wanted to see
Did we?
play. Yeah,
I haven't seen
I
that.
like him. I like him. So we'll see. He's going to be your backup. What else real quick here? Darrell Williams, this guy, boom. He was released. Releasing him saved the Bills $6.3 million. $3.6 million go to dead money. So these guys are gone. Like I said, the Bills had at least, I think it was like 2 point something million in cap space. They asked guys to take pay cuts, restructure their contracts. This guy, Matt Hack, who hacked a bunch of punts towards the end of the season, he ended up taking a pay cut from 1.8 million to 1.1 million and change. So that helped out Micah Hyde. He restructured his contract, which helped clear up 4.5 million in cap space. Matt Milano, boom. He restructured his contract and freed up 5.1 million. So everybody's doing their parts to help out with that cap space and bring other players in.
So obviously, I mean, again, you probably mentioned this already. So obviously, you gave Von Miller a 6-year contract.
Whoa.
It might last 2.
I didn't even mention him yet, but
I
I just told you what I mentioned, Bobby.
I'm excited for you guys. I'm rooting for you guys.
I didn't get to listen to the K&K show. I wish I would have, just to hear what Kurt was saying. I didn't get to do it. I was eating dinner with the family.
They were off tonight, by the way.
Huh?
They were off tonight.
Oh, they were? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're watching the game, so they figured. By the way, speaking of the games, our own St. Peter's is actually hanging tough so far. They're actually tied right now with Kentucky.
Oh wow! Well, hopefully they win. Hopefully they pull that win out. So I guess we'll talk real quick about just 2 guys here resign. You brought up him before, Isaiah McKenzie, 2-year deal, $4.4 million. I mean, it's a good deal for him. Once he resigned, you knew the writing on the wall for Cole Beasley was up there, and especially since he didn't want to take a pay cut. So McKenzie's going to slide into that slot most likely. Congratulations to him, and he sticks around for 2 more years. Mitch Morse, he agreed to a 2-year contract worth $19.5 million with $12 million guaranteed. Whew. All right. So the Bills went and did a bunch of moves. But besides that, what do you got? What are you thinking about your Pittsburgh Steelers move so far?
I'm liking the move so far. I was actually talking to my guy Frank. Frank's been on the show. Yes, they were both Steeler fans.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know they signed Miles Jack until he told me. I think Miles Jack, I think he's still young yet. I don't know his exact age. I play in a fantasy league where we play a full defense, and we've had him for a couple of years. He's usually a stud when it comes to making plays and whatnot. So, again, they cut Schobert because of that, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I like the move so far. I believe, and look, I think it's a really I thought it was a really cool move with Trubisky because, hey, if Mason Rudolph is really that good, then he's going to push him, and then he'll be the starter, right? But then again, if he's not, I think Trubisky said he learned a lot in Buffalo last year.
Mm-hmm.
With your coaches and whatnot, and and the guy now the Giants coaches, and he's ready to put it all together. He says he's mature now, and he's a more mature player, and he loves. He actually they has the same agent as Big Ben, so they're going to get together soon and start learning the whole process in a relatively short period of time. And I like the move. I know Jersey Frank wasn't too happy about it, but I liked Trubisky as the move there. It was either him for me or Jameis Winston.
I like Trubisky. I think he'll be fine with the weapons you guys have and how you guys like to run. Real quick, Kathy.
And we fortified our line too, so.
Yeah, that helps. Kathy, I have a cup, but I poured it out for the guys that aren't here, and that's why I'm drinking from the old school 40. And Nick, I'm not putting no green food color in the old English. It's disrespectful. Happy St. Patty's Day to everybody out there.
Things are flying by, huh?
Oof. Yeah, things are flying by. So before I hit up on the Bill stuff, I guess since you joined me, we'll talk on some of these league moves. Miles Jack, like you said, 2 years, $16 million. Yeah, he's still a bruiser, and I mean, I'm surprised with the moves the Steelers are doing, but they're making smart moves. I think they'll be good.
You know what it was, though? I realized it because, like, right before the end of the season, before the free agent season, you kind of heard how bad their cap space was. But then you realized, well, Big Ben was like $25 million of that right there.
Yeah.
So now that opens up a lot of salary for doing different things. And like you said earlier, they're making moves where they're very cost-effective, smart moves.
Yeah, he was a big chunk of change, and yeah, man, they're making moves and they're making smart moves, and like Trubisky, $7 million a year. What started quarterbacks getting $7 million a year? Not many out there. That's a deal, Levi Wallace, to me, he's a solid number 2. He played number 1 for us when White went down. So at $4 million a year, I couldn't believe Buffalo did not try to match that. Insane to me, So you guys get 1/2 for $4 million a year as a starting corner.
Think about it. If you look at it, it almost seems like Trubisky and Tyrod Taylor had almost the same contract. And who's the better player right now? Right?
I would take Trubisky over Tyrod any day.
Oh yeah. Well, I think he said that. Did he say that it was between Giants and Steelers where he wanted to go?
Well, and he knew most likely he's going to win the Steeler job. The Giants, you're not sure if you're going to be competing with Mac Jones or not. Daniel Jones. Yeah, that would have been more of a fight there. I think he should be able to beat out. Is Rudolph still under contract?
Yeah.
He is. So I think he could beat out Rudolph and Haskins.
Haskins, yeah.
Yeah.
And then and also for this 1 year, right? It allows them to get a pretty decent potential starter in the first round instead of having that quarterback. I mean, it might still. I mean, I would imagine if Kelly Pickett is still there when they pick, you might get him now because he could be the future.
Yeah.
Kurt says I'm on drugs because I said the Broncos are last place now.
Oh, really?
Buddy, come on! You're getting an old Russell Wilson, who I love to death, but.
My thing with that team is this. I don't know. I guess he said that to you because they have to fix that offensive line. If they don't fix the offensive line, he's going to have the same problems he did in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of money, so they could go out and fix that offensive line. But if they don't do it, he's going to be complaining. Yeah, you have great receivers, good running backs or whatever, good defense. But if he's running for his life half the time, he's in the same boat he was in Seattle.
I agree.
I don't know if Kurt's going to like me for that. But we got Von Miller, Kurt. I think we paid a lot of money, but we'll touch on that a little bit. You talked about Chandler Jones, 3-year, $51 million to the Raiders. Bills Mafia was going all crazy. Everybody wanted to sign Chandler Jones. And next thing you know, they signed over there for the Raiders. Big money. Big money. Chris Godwin, he returns to Tampa. 3 years, 61 million. They also signed Russell Gage, 3 years, 30 million. Those are some nice moves right there. Brady coming back again. He's gonna have some good weapons. Maybe Gronk will go resign since Brady went back. So they're gonna have the same weapons over there, which is insane.
What was your reaction to the whole Brady coming back when it dropped?
I didn't think he was gonna come back in the big in the beginning of the season. I thought maybe if somebody got hurt, maybe he would come out and finish like half the year. But when he just came out, it was like no surprise anyway. It's like it didn't even take much. What was it, 2 months or a month or whatever it was?
You know what? I respect the way he did it because you know what? He said he's going to retire, even though wasn't he blaming the writers? I heard yesterday.
He was saying that being that everybody kept saying it and whatever, then it was like he was almost forced, or he went by what the writers and everybody else was doing. But I guess they vacationed enough. He spent enough time with his family. He's like, oh my God, I gotta go hang out with the boys. That last part I added. But
I guess you could do that when your wife makes more money than you do, right?
well, listen, does he really need money?
No.
All the money he's made already. I mean, the money she has. It's not like they're hurting for money. Those kids are set for life. Doesn't matter what they do. I don't think they have no issues with money. It's just, I guess he doesn't feel like being home. Maybe he's more comfortable in cleats than Uggs. I don't know what it is. Okay.
All right, real quick. Kurt saying they got a better run game. You do not have a better run game than Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake.
Well, that's true. Kenyon Drake also, when he's healthy, that's a nasty.
You know who they signed? I just realized this before.
Who?
I always love this kid, Brandon Bolden from the Patriots. The guy sat there for 7 years, like behind the scenes, but every time he played, he was productive, and he's their third running back now.
Yeah, that's good too.
That's a great. I mean, he could be a starter on the Giants. I mean,
they have nice depth there. Did you see? Freaking Allen Robinson, the wide receiver from Chicago, ends up signing with the Los Angeles Rams. 3 years, 46.5 million.
Sick. I mean, and OBJ's supposedly going back there after his recovery, right? They got 4 like top flight receivers.
Yeah, that's insane. You're gonna have Jesus, what's the guy's name?
You got Cooper Kupp.
You're gonna have Cooper Kupp, Robinson.
You got your old guy, Woods
when he comes back, and then you got OBJ.
All right. All right. Maybe it makes sense because you do have 2 guys coming back from major surgeries.
Yeah, but still, if they come back, Woods should be on point to come back. He sat out most of the year, so he should be ready. And then when OBJ comes back, that's insane. That's crazy. 2 more things. Julio Jones. He ends up getting cut by the Titans. I think Julio Jones should come to Buffalo. He doesn't have to play every down. Come in there.
Well, I think Tom Brady's lobbying for him though.
Why? He has enough receivers.
He saw what the Rams are doing. He's like, I got to match this now.
It's ridiculous. Don't they have Evans still? So you got Gage, Godwin coming back, and Evans. Come on, that's insane. That lineup's nuts.
They got Scotty Miller, who's like that, under the radar guy. He always pops in and makes it. And I love that kid from Minnesota, University of Minnesota.
Oh, I know who you're
Tyler or Taylor or something.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Tyler Johnson.
Yeah,
another guy who's ready to be a star once he gets out of the shadow of the guys before him.
Which is going to be tough with all those guys. You see, they don't need Julio Jones. I think the Bills could use Julio Jones on a nice, friendly deal, veteran deal,
Real quick, before we go any further, Buffalo Will, what do you guys need right now? Obviously, you had McKissick signed, but he changed his mind when they matched the offer. What is the one hole, after all the moves you guys have made and obviously before the draft, what is the one hole that you feel you need closed up? I mean, I think by far, you guys are going to be the class of the AFC next year.
I think we need a corner.
Corner.
That's it. Like if they don't see, well, I mean, they have a nice chunk of change. They need a corner. You let Levi Wallace go. Right now, I guess Dane Jackson might slide into that spot. If not Dane Jackson, Siren Neal, which they just promoted, like re-signed. I think it's corner. And I mean, like I said, why they didn't re-sign Wallace for $4 million a year? You could have given him 4.5. Maybe you would have got him from Pittsburgh. It just makes no sense to me. The guy's your solid number two, and he stepped up and played one. He didn't. I don't know. And what people forget too is that the Buffalo Bills don't have Trey White usually follow the best receiver. He stays on his one side. So teams would move their wide receivers and Wallace would face them too. He did a good job. Just makes no sense to me. Right now, I think it's corner. If it was before their moves, I would have loved for them to get that guy, defensive tackle from Georgia, the big guy. But I don't think that's happening. I don't think they're going to trade up that far because I think that guy did a hell of a job at the combine just to push himself. So I think that's it. Last news, we'll hit this. I'll ask you too. So Deshaun Watson, 22 cases dropped against him. Supposedly the Superior Court or whatever it was, or grand jury only wanted to talk to one woman out of 22, which made no sense to me. Whatever. And they drop all these charges. Whatever. If that was you and I don't think that would happen. But whatever. So he informed, I guess, the Houston Texans informed the Browns today that they were out of the running. So as of now, it's the Saints, Falcons, and Panthers are supposedly like a dark horse now, still trying to get Deshaun Watson.
Pretty crazy how it's all confined to one division right now.
Yeah.
I can make or break the whole division.
Personally, I wouldn't touch this guy with a 12-foot pole, but it is what it is. But now, being that the Browns were in the mix for this, and now they told them no, I don't know if you heard it, Baker Mayfield asked for them to trade him.
And they told him no.
And the Browns are like, we're not trading you. Sorry. I think it's nuts. Baker is like, you were just trying to get rid of me. Now you want me to stay here? It's like, what the hell? What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Now, apparently, I was listening to the radio before, sports radio, and they said, I forgot who it was, but there was one of the quarterbacks involved in this where they kind of said, hey, this is what we're exploring. Just to keep them updated.
Yeah.
Right. But obviously, they thought they had a real genuine chance at Deshaun Watson without even telling Baker Mayfield of their thoughts, which he probably should have, right? At least let him know. All right. Hey, by the way, we're looking at potentially XYZ. If it falls apart, I mean, we still love you. You're our guy. You're our leader next year. But they said nothing. Obviously, the guy gets his ego split in half and destroyed. So he's like, no, what? I'm not coming back. But then again, they have all the power because they said, no, we're not trading you. So that's gonna be a mess. That's gonna hang over that franchise all next year.
It stinks for him because damn, it's like you didn't keep me updated. First, you're trying to trade me, and now you didn't even keep me. Now you want me to be the man. Now you want to be all like lovey-dovey with me. I think it's messed up. And if I'm looking at it, if I'm like, just say I'm Baker Mayfield, you're telling me you're trying to get somebody who was being sued on 22 accounts of alleged sexual harassment or assault or whatever you want to call it. This is the guy you want leading your team and not me, who I've been out of trouble and just putting in work. I think I'd be kind of pissed. So if just going by what you said, maybe the Falcons that told Matt Ryan, hey, Matt, we're looking into this. What do you think? I could see that, but it's like, damn, man. It's like a slap in the face. I'd be pissed. I'd want out.
You're right, and you already knew this guy was very, very prideful, right? Because he seems to get, his pennies in a bunch all the time, like twice a year. So you already know he has that fragile ego. Then to do this now, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
No, and especially everybody, if you watch like ESPN or half these places, are just putting the blame on Baker, like he's losing all these games on his own, which isn't the case, but it's pretty
And
much.
again, you're in one of those supercharged divisions where you thought maybe the Steelers were gonna drop off after Ben's retirement, but they're not. They're going for it. They're going for because they know that. I mean, they have a win now team, right?
Yeah.
So why not go for someone like Trubisky, where he's going to keep you afloat probably in most of the games this year, if not all of them. And then, all right, we saw what the Bengals could do with coming out of nowhere to make the Super Bowl. The Ravens are never going to stay down that long because they have great leadership and great management structure and player development and whatnot. So I mean, this could really push them back to the bottom again. I don't see that. Yeah, you have two parties unhappy. It's just not a good thing.
Nope. I thought the Browns were going to win their division last year, and here comes Cincinnati, and they win it, which is crazy. And like you said, listen, that it's a tough physical conference. Everybody plays tough. It's a good defensive conference. The Ravens are always in it. They're probably going to be in it again. Cincinnati, if they, help that offensive line, which they're picks, they probably will. They're going to be back in it. And like Pittsburgh, their moves. So yeah, and even Cleveland, they have the weapons. They just got to step up. I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough division again. So who knows? It just sucks that he's going to be upset about all this. Boom, real quick, some news right here. Roger Saffold, 1-year deal. The guy's played 160 games. He started 157. So he's not started only 3 games in his whole career so far. The guy's a beast. So he's going to be plugging in one of those holes that have been left with cuts and releases. Well, same thing. So welcome him, big beast. Hopefully we'll get to run the ball some more. Defensive tackle, Tim Settle, 2-year deal. Guys played in 63 games, 54 tackles, 7 sacks, 1 fumble recovered. It's a 2-year deal worth $9 million. A lot of people say he hasn't had more production because he's been sitting. This guy was the big move. Kaboom. 6-year, $120 million deal, and he's looking for number 40. He was on, I downloaded the video here, but the way he recorded it, it's cutting off his head, but we could hear the...
It's been crazy, man. Crazy 4 hours. Going back and forth, man. A lot of things that I love in LA, but I just wanted to let you know I'm coming to Buffalo. Bills Mafia, what's good? Is 40 open?
Yep, 40 is open. So I guess he'll get his number 40, and hopefully he stays healthy and puts in some work there. I mean, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. And like you said, who knows if he's there more than 2 years.
Yeah, the way it's structured is this, at that age, is this he's there for the run. He's there for your run, which is right now for you guys.
The one thing the Bills do, which I like, but sometimes they do it too much, a lot of rotation. So he should stay healthy the year. He's not going to be out there every down. So even though for that money, he should be out there at least 80% of the snaps, I would say. But it's a hell of a move. We've been struggling with the rush. We have a lot of young DNs. So let's see what happens from there. This was a nice pickup. You actually texted me about it, and I had seen it. O.J. Howard, 1 year, $3.5 million. So I could see a lot of 2 tight end sets this year with Knox and him.
Exactly.
That should be, they try to get Ingram, supposedly, the extra giant tight end. That didn't happen. But I think I would rather have OJ right now than Ingram.
I think Ingram, I believe he signed with Jaguars?
Jaguars,
right? I believe he's going to be moved to a slot receiver.
Well, I was hearing that too. So, OJ's production has been down. He's been playing behind Gronkowski. So, and besides 2 years, he hasn't had more than 34 catches, receptions, which to me is a little weird when you have so much talent. But hopefully that changes in Buffalo. Hopefully he picks up his game. Another guy returning. Actually, where is this guy? Daquan Jones. I thought I loaded it. What? I gotta find his picture. Anyway, Daquan Jones, defensive tackle. Again, another Carolina guy. Boom, there he is. 2 years, $14 million, $7 million a year. So let's see. Hopefully he steps his game up. And then we also have Jordan Phillips. Boom, he resigned. He's back in Buffalo for one more year, but some of his better years were in Buffalo. Left for the bigger contract. Now he's back on a 1-year deal. So he's back. And another guy who was pushing for his return to Buffalo, Shaq Lawson, he signs a 1-year deal with Buffalo. So, hey, sky's the limit. These guys, to me, are more depth moves. Let's see if they make the squad or not. But welcome back to Buffalo.
Who do you want to get for your backup quarterback?
Oh, man. It might sound silly, but I wouldn't mind Fitzpatrick on a nice deal. I have not really looked. Who are the free agents out there left? I mean, Fitzpatrick loves Buffalo. You know he could play. He's smart. So
he's healthy though, because I mean, I was kind of surprised he missed the whole year.
Well, that's another thing. What was it? Carson Wentz, the trade to get Carson Wentz, who's been pretty much banged up every year. You're going to put him behind that Washington line. So if they don't fix that Washington line, Carson Wentz, like I said, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I'll be surprised if he plays 12 games. You know, I don't
Crazy.
I don't know. I can't see it really happening. He's like Mr. Glass. Well, one of those guys. You know, another guy some people said too, which I just saw, was Andy Dalton. What about bringing Andy Dalton? You know, that wouldn't be a bad move as a backup. I wouldn't mind Jacoby Brissett if he was a backup. You know, there's some guys. Chase Daniel.
I think he signed.
He did sign?
Yeah. No, you're right. Brissett, I think it's still available. Of course, like I said, Andy Dalton.
Oh, what's his name?
You're built to win, so you can't do what the Giants did last year and have a flop like Glennon back there, because that's just.
Marcus Mariota's available.
Okay.
So I would like one of those guys. I wouldn't mind. What about? Here's a question. What about Colin Kaepernick? Would you take him as a backup?
Just
Seattle. Pete Carroll supposedly was talking to him, and he's one of the guys who said he deserves a second chance in the league. You know, so who knows?
I mean, besides the baggage, which maybe is waning down from its height, what's it been 6 years or 8 years he hasn't played?
It's been a while, and like the only thing with him is that his numbers were dropping, so it wasn't like, because people got used to it. That's the thing. Some of these quarterbacks come out their first year, they put up great numbers. Then the second or third year, they decline a little or whatever, because defenses get used to them. So it wasn't like he was playing great ball. And then with the whole, kneeling thing, that just added more stress to it. So who knows where he's at or if he could still play. But as a backup, why not see what he's got? But he can't be asking for crazy money.
No.
He can't try to get $20 million. Like if the Ravens were going to sign him and then his girlfriend puts out that tweet, I don't know if he's still with her or married or whatever. But if I'm him, I'm saying you keep that shit to yourself. Don't be blowing up my spot. So
yeah, that's gonna get what's name in trouble, I think, next year. I think it's coming to a boil. Patrick Mahomes, his brother and his now wife, a little loosey goosey on the
they told him that's it. He can't be doing that no more.
Really? Okay.
There was something that came out that I guess they tweeted that they will not be dancing or going out to the sidelines or this and that anymore. I guess Patrick told him, you got to stop it. That's it. So he shut his own brother down with that stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah. So That
Thank
was
God.
that. So we won't be seeing that clown out there, which is a little ridiculous. Uh, let's see what else. I'm trying to see, but yeah, I think I wouldn't mind Fitzpatrick if he's healthy, and or a Mariota. Somebody like that. That's going to be a team friendly deal because you're not starting, so we don't need no crazy.
I think out of the guys you've mentioned, besides Fitzpatrick, because who's like I mean, again, we see what his health is at this point. But
Mhm.
up until the injury last year, he was the ultimate like reliever quarterback, right? 'Cause the guy can come in, he'll win 2-3 games for you. You don't want to expose him too much, then he gets
Mhm.
stupid with his passes, which is crazy because he's a Harvard guy, right? He's his brains are. But I would say Fitzpatrick or Mariota would be the best fit for you guys.
Yeah, or Dalton. I wouldn't mind Andy Dalton out there.
There's a move though. I see because
That's the problem.
a mobile quarterback.
Yeah,
That's why. All right, maybe Brissett and Mariota, are your best bets because there are young quarterbacks who can run a little bit.
yeah. No, I wouldn't mind those.
Same reason why you would say the Giants got Tyrod Taylor because he can move a little bit.
Was Tyrod there when I can't even remember our offensive coordinator? Who's your head coach now? Brian Dable was there. I don't remember if he was there those years.
From what I read, I believe it was just Shane in the offices somewhere.
Okay.
Like he's been gone for a while because poor guy, he's the guy you sign when you have a young quarterback you want to bring on. Yeah, this guy he's got thick skin. Let's sign him because he's not going to cry when he's inevitably benched for our first round pick.
But it wasn't even that too. He's had bad luck with injuries.
Yeah,
playing in Houston last year, he's looking good. Boom, injury.
Yeah, one good game because I had him on. I had what's his name on. Brandon Cooks on fantasy football, so we had like 1 or 2 good games, and he was down. And he came back. You're all excited. Did nothing.
Nope. And then the kid ended up keeping the job over there.
Skills, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of? We got 8 minutes left around here. What are you looking for your teams? Your biggest needs?
Steelers, I would say just fortify that line, and hell, we got backup running backs galore. I mean, if Bell and Samuels come back, we're good there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have the backup quarterbacks, so you have a whole room now over there with Rudolph and Haskins.
Yeah,
I would think maybe not sure if they re-signed Ray McLeod because I know he was getting a lot of interest.
Ray, ex-Buffalo Bill too.
So you know what? Now they're like almost like your guys. Like your guys last year, like your draft last year was a lot of it was depth, right?
Yeah.
You had that team that was now a win now team. So I would say pretty much the same thing, and maybe find another starter on the line somewhere.
I think like the Bills are in the same right now after their moves. I think they're in the same position. It's going to be more of a depth thing. Like we need a corner. If we don't sign a corner in free agency, I think they need to get a corner in the draft. If there's a very good corner at that pick, we'll see. You could get another wide receiver. I don't know why people keep saying wide receiver in the first round. I would be surprised unless,
For who?
For Buffalo.
A Buffalo.
They keep saying I think it's Williamson from Alabama, if he's there. But again, we don't really need that. It's not like the huge need. I think right now corner would be the huge need. And then I think we need to draft a few offensive linemen for depth. Ryan Bates right now, I believe he was looking in Minnesota, so we might not be. We could match their offer, I believe, for Bates, But after that, we don't really have much depth at the offensive line right now. So I could see that. I could see maybe if one of these quarterbacks drop, then why not take a shot at one, maybe for a backup. But again, you could go probably pick up one of these guys in free agency. But I think our main thing right now would be corner and maybe wide receiver for depth. and we need a quarterback out there, I think.
Yep, I agree with you. And as far as the Giants are concerned, everything. We're not right now. I'm sorry. I mean, you know what might be good for you? I mean, I don't know if you guys have the cap space, but maybe you guys will emerge as a suitor for James Bradbury. Right? So you need a corner, right? And we need to get rid of this guy.
Well, that was one thing somebody had posted that you guys were like trying to shop him, and what are the chances? Real quick, I'm looking at these quarterbacks also. So it's Fitzpatrick, Dalton, Cam Newton's out there. Again, backup. Jameis Winston, which I would be surprised if this guy doesn't have a starting gig. Unless, hey, you say, hey, why don't I go sit in Buffalo for a year like Mitch Trubisky and try to get a job next year?
I think Winston is waiting. Winston's a domino effect player right now. Because whatever happens with Deshaun Watson, I think he's the next chip after that. Because he's still a starting caliber quarterback.
Yes.
He proved that last year.
He should be.
So he's probably like, all right, whatever of the three teams do not get Watson, there's a lot of speculation he's going back to New Orleans anyway.
Yes.
Because I think it's very apparent that what's his name is not a quarterback to last long and
Tyson,
he's a gimmick and he's a great player, but he's not your starting quarterback. No way.
No. Right now, like I said, I think if you wanted to get crazy, I mean, Fitzpatrick's 39. Jesus. I would either go Marcus Mariota or Jacoby Brissett out of everybody that's out there. Those would be one of my two for backups if I was to sign one of these guys. But that's just me.
Yeah. Well, it should be an interesting couple of weeks, Good time of year. A lot going on now until we get the lull of just basketball. I mean, just baseball, which that's when it gets kind of boring. But hey, Jordy, now you got March Madness. You got to enjoy the you got MLB free agency. Obviously, you got NFL stuff still going on, as evident by the big trade today for Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that's crazy. We're gonna have to see what we do if we do anything for the draft, Bobby.
Yeah. I'll think that's end of April, right?
Yeah, right. Is it? Oh, I'm not even sure right now. I lost connection, but yeah, it'll be cool. Even if we talk a little bit, we always do our picks as always, but we'll go on from there. Thanks for hopping on here with me.
No. I saw the news today. I was like, all right. And like I said, most Thursdays now, I'm gonna have a new show. We have a new show that debuted last week, the HBCU Pigskin Show. It was derived from the HBCU Pigskin Bowl, which debuted this year in December. So the guys wanted to do a show where they start getting some of these players on and interview them and stuff, and hopefully increase their visibility. So that comes on at 9:00. So I've been doing that for a while. So if you're need to pop in on a Thursday, I should be available now. I got to come back into that show. So
that's cool. Maybe we could get some phone calls like we were trying to do in the 1 year.
Yeah. I'm down for
that. And I'm still trying to get some players, some Buffalo Bills players out there. Hopefully we'll get some someday.
I don't know if this happened or not, but the guy we had on, what happened?
No, I just threw that up there.
Oh! I thought we.
Nah, not yet. Getting to that point.
I didn't notice his name being called, but the guy we were supposed to get, the guy you met, remember the guy from Union City?
Yeah.
He put his name into the player pool for the USFL. So I didn't see if he got picked or not.
Oh, I wonder. He was actually a very nice guy, very cool guy. I actually have where's the clip? I still have the clip. Here we go. Boom.
Okay, Giancarlo. Wepa, you're watching Viva Los Bills.
Yeah, there he is. So hopefully he does get picked. And we'll get to talk to him.
Real quick, before we go, we have 45 seconds. Speaking of the USFL, are you going to watch when it comes on?
Yeah, I'll watch. What is it? It's the New Jersey Generals, right? Or New Jersey Generals?
A lot of the original teams, maybe they added a new team, all the original names from the 80s, whenever they played. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but the guy drafted number 4 for the Generals, quarterback Ben Holmes, I used to broadcast him at Nassau Community College.
Really?
So yeah, I'm hoping to get him on for an interview next week or so before he gets too crazy. But yeah, when I saw he was like the number 4 pick in the draft. Now they had a snake draft where every round was a position.
That's funny.
So round 1 was all quarterbacks. Round 2 was this. Round 3. So I'll watch just for him because I want to support him, and it's pretty cool to say, hey, I used to know that guy when he was in junior college. So
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Hopefully they have some success.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, for everybody out there, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Our prayers go out to Cousin Vinny and his family. Until next week, keep it real, everybody. Viva those Bills. Go Buffalo. And that's about it.